Elsa Dorfman, and I'm a portrait photographer, and I use the Polaroid 20 by 24. I had like sort of a piano stool obsession. The thing about the piano stool in terms of the pictures was that the legs would tear the seamless, but it was very popular. I mean, people like the piano stool, and then they like this, and they love the flamingos. And it was really, the guy's name was Woody Jackson in Vermont, Middlebury, Vermont, Moncton, Vermont. But he, like this is from '87. He made cups, everything with cows on it. But then he went out of business. I don't know why. I'm just getting a Kleenex. This was in the J.P. Newman catalog, and it's like a skeleton. It's a good prop. It's a little unsturdy, actually. Maybe we didn't put it together right. But what happened was, at some point, I sort of evolved away from the chairs. It certainly wasn't an intellectual decision. Hardly anything I do is from an intellectual decision. And most of the things I only realize I've done after I've done them. You know, I don't realize it while I'm doing it. People that come to me are very self-selective. They know I'm going to take a picture that they're going to look at and say, oh yeah, that's me. So I photographed them in '89. And there's 5 years difference between them. And so then I did them in '89, '99, and then last week 09. And now one is married, and they're all grown up, and the youngest is the tallest. You know what? I think when you walk out of here with the picture, it has a completely different meaning than it has a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later. The picture stays the same, but the associations are different. I've had a whole bunch of people who have come right before, knowing they were dying. I've had about 11 of those. Each one is like its own experience to me. I mean, vivid. I can almost play the whole sequence in my mind for each photograph. The first one was a husband called me. His wife had just been diagnosed with breast cancer. She was a very shy woman, and they had like maybe a 6-year-old son. It was very hard for me. I was like very moved and saddened almost, and I felt it was a huge responsibility to get a good family picture. But I did it, and I got a good picture, and they were happy, and they went off, and I remember standing in the driveway giving him his picture. And then maybe about 2 years later, I read in the paper that she had died. Later, I got a note from the husband saying he hadn't been able to look at the photograph yet. It was in the closet. And I really tore myself inside out to get a picture that would mean something for all of them. I've often wondered what happened like to the little boy. He's probably 40 now. No, he couldn't be 40, but he could be 35.
It's like this narrative.
and it's probably like the biggest picture he ever had of his mother, you know, with the most clarity, probably. People come and they sort of, I think I create an environment where their best selves spring up. Like they might, when they park the car, be ready to kill themselves, kill each other. But by the time they're in here 5 minutes, that's evaporated. Lots of times a photoshopped picture isn't recognizable. We don't walk around the world in our photoshopped selves. You know what I mean? So, you know, you see yourself the way you are. Can I stand right between them?
Yeah.
Does that look like a good shot? In my pantaloons?
Well, I think it's better at an angle. Aren't you supposed to be looking at her?
I am, but I'm getting silly.
Sorry.
You know what I think is if I stand here long enough, you'll come along with a wand and I'll be in a Mary Mecco dress.